right, welcome to For the Girls. We are in Austin at the United States Grand Prix, and we are so lucky to be joined here with Matteo Lunelli, the president and CEO of Ferrari Trento, which is Italy's leading luxury sparkling wine producer and the official toast of F1.
Good morning. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
We're so happy to have you here. So first, let's start with Formula One. How did Ferrari Trento become the official toast of F1? How did that come to be?
First of all, I would like to say that everything started from a dream. Really, it was a dream to become the official toast of Formula One since a very long time. And then we started a conversation with Formula One in 2019. I remember there was a dinner with the Formula One team when they came to Italy for the Monza Grand Prix. And then actually the pandemic came. And I think that at that time, what made the difference was that we continued our conversation and we stayed completely convinced that this was the appropriate long-term project, because in the middle of the pandemic that was not obvious at all. The Grand Prix were empty without anybody attending, so each one of us was not sure if we would have gone back to normal and to having big events with a lot of people attending. But at that time, I think we believed that sooner or later we would have gone back to getting together again, and we thought that this was an incredibly amazing opportunity for our brand in long term. So we embarked in this ambitious project in the middle of the pandemic, and that was, I think, an incredibly good decision that proved to be very successful. And so we started in 2021 this partnership. Which at the beginning was a 3-year partnership, and then we already prolonged it for 5 years because we are very happy about it, and Formula One as well. So we thought it was appropriate to make it to at least up to 2025. And so we are the official toast of Formula One. All the champions celebrate with our Jerobam on the podium, and we are also serving our Ferrari Trento in the best hospitality in all the Grand Prix around the world.
Yes, we've seen the bottles all around the world. So what is your favorite part about seeing Ferrari Trento up on the podiums?
It is always an emotion. I still remember the first time it happened. It was in Imola. Imola is the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, together with Monza. And actually, it's interesting because the Imola Grand Prix is dedicated to Made in Italy. So for us, representing Italy on the podium, bringing, for the first time, an Italian sparkling wine, an Italian brand in the celebration of Formula One, which is the most iconic celebration in the world of sport. I mean, we were so proud. So I still remember looking at it and thinking that this was a great result. And it was great for each one of us, for all the men and women that works now and have worked for Ferrari Trento in over a century of history. It was something that everybody in Trentino and in our territory was proud of. I received a lot of phone calls from our colleagues also in the wine world, because it was also for Italian wine a strong recognition. So first of all, I'm always very proud of it, and it's great to have something on that stage. A wine which is an expression of a territory and the result of the passion and work of so many talented people. So that's the first feeling I have, and then it's always I also have a personal passion for Formula One, and that makes it even more special.
Amazing. And so we know you have many different types of sparkling wine. We've got a couple in front of us. What type of sparkling wine is actually in the bottles?
It is the most, I would say, classic Ferrari Trento, because our style is very much linked to Chardonnay. So it's a Blanc de Blanc, 100% Chardonnay from the mountains of Trentino. I always like to emphasize the terms mountain, because this is what distinguishes our territory and what distinguishes Ferrari Trento. We are a mountain sparkling wine. It is a traditional method, as all the Ferraris, because all Ferrari are Trento DOC, the denomination is Trento. So we cultivate our grapes on the slope of the mountains in Trentino, and all of our Ferrari makes the second fermentation in the bottle. So the sparkling and the perlage comes from a second fermentation that happens in the bottle. And after this fermentation, the wine ages on the lees. The wine that we put in this Ferrari Gerobam, which is the one we use for the podium of Formula One, ages for almost 5 years in the darkness and silence of our cellar. So it is a very special wine. Somebody would say actually it's a pity that sometimes gets sprayed, but you know they also drink part of it, and I have to say that for us it's also important to have an amazing wine inside, because actually it is possible also to buy the same bottle that is used on the bottle.
I've been drinking it for years.
We have had it.
And even in the large format, for example, you know, in Austin here, if somebody wants to buy our wine, they can go to H-E-B, for example, which is a very common store here. They decided to have a great presentation of Ferrari Trento, or you can go all over the United States on wine.com and order it. And we have seen incredible demand also for the large bottles, the same one used on the podium.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
It's great for a party, so
That's
it
where I
makes
first
it
got
very special.
It's also beautiful decoration. Once you're done, you keep the bottle.
Exactly. Okay, so we have to ask, are you a fan of Scuderia Ferrari?
Yes, I have to say yes. You know, first of all, I have to say we are the official toast of Formula One, and it's always great to see the champion celebrating. It's great to see. You know, I have an incredible respect for Max Verstappen and for Red Bull, and you know, we are proud that he have toasted and celebrated so many times, as well as, for example, before Lewis Hamilton with Mercedes. I have an incredible respect for him, for Toto Wolff, for all the team, George Russell. So in the best wins, and we are happy that he celebrates with Ferrari. Then obviously I'm Italian. I grew up being a Scuderia Ferrari fan. Yeah, that's obviously when it happens that there is what I call a Ferrari squared on the podium.
Let's hope.
then I'm happy. Obviously, it's good, and Charles and Carlos are friends. You know, many of the team of Scuderia Ferrari are friends that I see around. We meet on the planes coming from Italy to the GP, so it's obvious. But as I said, Formula One is really a family. The more we are staying with them, and the more you get to know people, and I would say it's overall a family with all the Scuderias. So I'm a fan, but I have to say that each one of the drivers, each one of the team makes it special. You know, it's great to see Lando Norris celebrating with Ferrari, because nobody celebrates like him with our bottle.
Breaking trophies and such.
No, I mean, that was actually unfortunate, and sometimes I'm even scared that when he crashed the bottle on the floor, that it explodes, because I told him, Lando is not made to do that, so pay attention. He said, no, don't worry. I said, I worried a little bit, but you know, it's certainly fun. So he's the best, the best one in celebrating on the podium. I have to say, though, it's awarded to Lando Norris and to McLaren. It's so for example, I love Yuki Tsunoda. He came to visit our winery.
So great. He's
2
a
weeks
connoisseur of food and wine.
He loves food and wine, and he lives in Faenza. He lives in Italy, so Alfa Tauri is in Faenza, so it's based in Italy, and I have a passion for Japan and for Japanese food. He loves Italy where he lives, so sometimes we talk about it. He always asks me about the wine, and I always invited him to come and visit us. So he took the chance 2 weeks ago, and he came to visit us. So that was special. And I obviously would love to see him on the podium once and celebrating with our Ferrari Trento. So
it'll happen. It'll happen
for sure. We look forward.
So we talked a little bit about before we started recording some of your favorite races, but tell us a favorite race or a favorite experience with Ferrari Trento on the podium.
The favorite races, first of all, it's probably Italy, because of the atmosphere that is also very special for us, being at home. I remember there is a very nice picture of the last podium in Monza, where we see the drivers with the bottles and all the people on the straight line. It's full and packed. It's full and packed of. But each race has its own character. I told you I love Japan, and if you go to Suzuka, you see that the race weekend is a great representation of their culture, the way they stay together. So that's also nice. You know, if you go to Monza, you expect the Italian crowd and the energy, the passion of the Italian crowd. If you go to Suzuka, it's the orderly elegance of of the Japanese fans, which in the fan zone, you know, it's impressive because when you go away from Suzuka in the evening, even in the fan zone, you could eat on the floor, on the ground.
I'm sure that's not happening here in Austin.
And it's not going to happen anywhere in the world, not in the US but so it's great that when you go to a GP, you discover a place, the culture. If you go to Monte Carlo, because of the history and because of the place, that's a magic. It's magic to watch it. I remember that the first year we were the official toast of Formula One with Ferrari Trento. We were still in the middle of the pandemic. Not in the middle, but it was still very much closed. So we decided to have some guests on a boat so that we could control more. Everybody was tested and was very well organized, and so I watched it from a boat. We had some incredible guests as well. There was one of the most famous soccer player in Europe now, Erling Haaland. We had Berrettini, who is the tennis champion. We had Quartararo, the motorbike champion. So that was, and we would watch the race just from this boat, which was in front of Curva del Tabaccaio. You know, in the tobacconist, it's called the tobacconist because historically in Monaco, on that turn there is a tabaccaio, and so from that I still remember. Also because what made it special was that it was a period where nothing was happening, so having an event like that, it was even more special. And then the following years, it was great to see the GP becoming again a great party with all the fans coming and all the parties happening on the boats and in the hotels and in. So Monte Carlo is special, and just the view and arriving perhaps from the sea to the circuit.
It's very iconic. It's an iconic race.
Yeah, when you have to go to the paddock club, you go with the boat. So sometimes from the hotel directly to the paddock. So that's
bucket list.
Someday.
That's very special. So each race is special. You know, when you come to Texas and to Austin, you feel the atmosphere of Texas. And,
we saw you have your cowboy boots on. You're ready to go.
Yes, I bought it here the first year I came to Austin. Our partner in the United States is called Tao Family Selection. Is our importer, and Dave, who is the representative of Tao Family Selection in this area. He told me, if you want to be here, you got to be a cowboy. So yeah, he brought me to buy some beautiful boots, and each when I come back to Austin, they are with me. So I'm ready to go with the boots.
There you go.
Okay, so we want to turn to sustainability. So winemaking obviously has a dependence on and a very strong relationship with the earth, with the environment, and you all focus a lot on sustainability, from renewable energy, biodiversity projects, all sorts of things. So tell us, we have read your sustainability report, but tell us a little bit about your approach to sustainability at Ferrari Trento.
First of all, as you said, wine is an expression of the territory. We work with nature, and it is the territory that provides us the style of the wine. So I think we need to feel even more the duty to protect the territory. And at the heart of our sustainability approach is the idea to protect the environment and our territory, and to promote also our land and territory. So first of all, in the vineyards, when we cultivate our vineyards, we want to balance the objective of obtaining an excellent grape for creating Ferrari Trento sparkling wines with the objective of preserving the environment and the health of the people working in the vineyard, because that's also very important. Actually, it's one of our priority. So We started long ago to make to this path towards sustainability in vine growing. We started with some experimental biodynamic and organic vineyard, and slowly we realized that it was possible to make organic viticulture also in the mountain environment. I underlined that that's different, for example, than making organic viticulture in Sicily, because in Sicily, you don't have a lot of rain, the climate is much warmer, so usually it's easier to make organic in a warmer climate. But so at the beginning, there were somebody was not convinced that it was possible to make organic viticulture in such a large scale on a in the middle of the mountain in Trentino. But we made it. We made it first on a single vineyard, and then slowly more and more in all of our vineyards. And in 2017, we got certified on all our state vineyards. Incredible. And so this made possible for us to demonstrate to all our vine grower suppliers that it was possible to make organic viticulture. So we created a protocol of sustainable viticulture that all our vine grower suppliers follow. Wow. So at the moment, basically Ferrari is made with grapes coming from our state vineyards, which are organic, and from vine growers, which follow a protocol of sustainable viticulture, which bans pesticide, herbicide. We use no chemical treatment. So it is a more traditional, in a sense, way of cultivating vineyards. But we think that long term this is also beneficial to the quality of the grape, because the vineyard starts to acquire its own a better equilibrium, and we are very proud of what we have done on that respect. And then on the 120th anniversary of from the foundation of Ferrari Trento, we achieved carbon neutrality.
Congratulations.
That's another, thank you very much.
Milestone.
Yeah, that is really...
No, thank you very much. It was a milestone also to demonstrate our commitment to sustainability on such an important anniversary. We are carbon neutral scope 1 and 2. But at the end, in terms of environmental sustainability, I think what we have done, it's a path. So so long term, we will continue towards new objectives. Then there is something which is equally important, which is our attention, as I said before, to the community and to the land of Trentino and to the territory that hosts us, which is linked to the idea of a social and economic sustainability. We are proud to promote Trentino, which I mentioned many times, by the way, and here, and we also put the name Trento on the podium of Formula One. So I think this is a way for us to contribute to the growth and to the wealth of our homeland, as much as we contribute by giving work and wealth to all our grape grower suppliers, which provide the grapes to us. So it is a sustainability approach that has this focus, and it is these are values that we share with all the team.
Yeah, no, it's so great to hear you talk about it so holistically too. It's not just like you're checking one box, but you're really thinking about the entire operation, and of course it's not affecting the quality. It is a wonderful wine. We've had it.
No, thank you. And it's something I didn't mention, which is as important, is also the attention to talent and people. So I think what we need to do is working in harmony with the environment, and with being, having a positive contribution to the community that hosts us, and promoting the talent of those working with us, and protecting and promoting the talent of those working with us, and that's the whole idea of sustainability. And
yeah, when you think about sustainable development goals, it's just as much about people as it is about the environment. Yes. So it's great that you're thinking about that. So thinking a little bit about climate change and shorter growing seasons, water scarcity, those sorts of things, is that affecting your production at all already, or how are you adapting to that?
For sure, we are touching and we are witnessing the global warming. And if you look at the long-term trend of the harvest time, is getting earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
But we have a great advantage in Trentino. Being in a mountain environment, we can partially compensate the global warming by moving higher and higher our vineyard. So let me explain. We cannot move a vineyard itself, but by planting new vineyard at higher altitude and by acquiring new grape grower suppliers at higher altitude, we get grapes that can compensate in the cuvée. Basically, in Trentino, if you go 100 meter higher in altitude, you get almost 1 degree less in the average temperature throughout the year. So if you look at what is the change in temperature long term, we can just compensate it by moving the average altitude of our vineyard by a reasonable amount. So it is a long-term objective that we have. We already started long ago to just acquire new vineyards at higher altitude. And looking at the next generation of our family, it is important for us to think that we will leave them with vineyards which on average would be higher. Where nowadays in Trentino, you can cultivate vineyards at altitudes that were not possible at the time of Giulio Ferrari. So when our founder created Ferrari Trento in 1902, we now go up to even 800 meters.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, which in the Alps was long ago was not an appropriate area to grow the vine. So yes, we are witnessing global warming, but as I said, being in the mountains, we have this chance, because if we would live in a flatland, then there would be no way even to compensate, because our goal is to maintain the style of our wines. And being, the temperature is very important, because you can, if you compensate by harvesting earlier the grapes and long term, you are losing the aromatic maturation, because the vine needs time to fully develop the aroma. And what is the characteristic of our grapes, of Chardonnay, for example, is that being located in the mountains, we can harvest this, for example, the Chardonnay, which has this bright yellow golden color, because it's fully mature. It has this very nice aromatic profile, but still it has a well-balanced acidity. Yeah. And the acidity in the grape that we harvest is very important, because it will deliver in the wine finesse, freshness, crispiness.
Finesse, I love that.
Yeah. It's making me thirsty.
We just want to finish really quick talking about biodiversity. I know you guys have gotten the Biodiversity Friend Award many years, since 2015 actually, by the Worldwide Biodiversity Association. So what does that mean to you, and how are you thinking about biodiversity?
Biodiversity is very important for the planet. It is something that we need to protect. Unfortunately, at the world level, we are decreasing biodiversity for many reasons, and so as part of our attention to the environment, we want to monitor biodiversity in all our vineyards. And the biodiversity certification friends allow us to measure the biodiversity of our vineyard year over year.
Nice.
And luckily, the data we are getting is that, first of all, because we have organic viticulture, there is a very strong and important biodiversity in our vineyards. If you look at the vineyard, there are insects, there are flowers, there is nature, and that's coming from that's the result of the respect that we have for in our style of cultivating the vines. And the way we measure biodiversity is very simple, actually. Those professionals who makes the certification, for example, they even dig in the soil, and they count the insects, and they give you points, scores in terms of how many, what are the different species they find, and they measure it through different throughout the years. Plus, we are in the mountains. Our vineyards are surrounded by forest, by alpine woodland, and And so I think the level of biodiversity we have is anyway very, very high already.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of protecting it and monitoring it. And as I said, it is important for the world in general. We even put beehives close to our vineyards because that's very helpful for biodiversity and for in general for the overall equilibrium.
You should talk to Sebastian Vettel about that.
Yeah, we thought about it. We thought we will probably do it.
Yeah.
We could have a Ferrari Trento honey that comes out or something.
That would be good. Well, you all are a model for sustainable winemaking and lots of other things, and thinking about community, thinking about team. So we cannot wait to see Ferrari Trento on the podium today. We're so excited, and we're hoping for a good race. Ferrari squared. But Matteo, thank you so much for joining us. This was so wonderful, and we learned a lot. So
thanks to you for inviting me. It was a great pleasure. I also look forward to go now to the track and watch the race. It's going to be exciting, and looking forward to the podium. And for those who are listening, I hope they can also watch the race and celebrate like the champions, with Ferrari Trento. If not now, for the next GP, just get a bottle of Ferrari Trento at home and celebrate with your friends like the champions on the podium.
nothing sounds better. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.